A little over 3 weeks ago, I picked up the keys to this unit. Now this is where I was going to open my new bike store, Hyped Bike Performance. Now when I got the keys, I think it's fair to say this was a fairly grey and uninspiring spot. And if I was going to turn this into the bike shop that I had in my mind and open on the 8th of November, I definitely have my work cut out. Now this isn't my first rodeo. I've done a few shop fits in my time. The last 3.5 weeks have been intense to say the least. Spent some long hours on site and it hasn't always been plain sailing. In this one, I'm going to take you into the unit, show you what we've been up to and let you know everything else that's going on with Hyped. Let's get into it. Prior to me taking on the lease for this place, it stood empty and derelict for over 6 years and was nothing more than a dark and dusty shell. Although I could see the potential, there was undoubtedly a lot to do to turn it around and be open in 5 weeks' time. 2 days into the fit out, I hit my first major issue. Fair to say we've got a bit of a leak on our hands. There was a small damp patch on the floor when I came to have a look at the unit and get the keys off the agent on Wednesday, but it didn't look like anything too severe, but yeah, pretty bad. Called my landlord. Don't seem too fussed, to be fair. Told me somebody's coming out on Tuesday. I'm filming this 5 o'clock Friday night. God knows what state the unit's going to be in by then. We did have plans on doing the stud walls this weekend, but that isn't going to happen now. So yeah, going to put us back a little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to nick it up. And hopefully this issue behind me gets sorted out next week. Before I go home now, I'm going to move all my kit to the far end of the unit, including about 50 sheets of plasterboard. So yeah, fun and games. Despite the challenges and scale of the project, I figured the best thing to do was get my head down and just crack on. And a little over 3 weeks later, this is how it now looks. So what do you make of the place? I must admit, studying now after 3.5 weeks of long hours, solid graft, I'm super happy with how it's turned out. I did a lot of this myself, but I have had some help along the way. Notable shout outs to my man DT. You'll have seen him in my previous riding videos. He has been absolutely solid every step of the way. Also, my brother-in-law Sean, make no mistake, without those guys, there's no way I'd be studying it today with the unit looking like it does now. So just to talk you through everything we've done to the place, this is a basement unit. There's no windows, very little natural light, so we had to put a glazed frontage in there. That's definitely had a big impact. In the last video, I mentioned chucking up stud walls here, there and everywhere to try and help you visualize how the place was going to turn out. That was the job that me and DT tackled right at the start of the project. It took us 2 days to put the stud work and plasterboard up. It took me a day and a half to tape it and sand it down. Another messy job, and not a job I'll be looking to take on anytime again soon. It's had a full repaint, so in the last video you'll have noticed it was just bare breeze block walls, super dusty, super dirty, no good for a pristine showroom. So yeah, I think this place took somewhere around 320 litres of paint, and doing that ceiling, what a job that was. Possibly one of the messiest jobs I've ever done in my life. It took me a day and a half, and after it was finished, it's fair to say I wasn't looking my best. I've also put down 230 metres of laminar flooring. That took me in DT 3 days. Put an air conditioning system in. This was probably the most expensive part of the whole project. No gas in the unit, so couldn't put a boiler and heating system in. So aircon was really the only option. Must admit, I love the look of the galvanised steel tray that I've put in to carry the pipe work. Also love the black aircon units. I think it contrasts really nicely with the black ceilings and adds to the overall aesthetic. Other thing that needed tackling was the electrics. When we moved in here, we had some really basic lighting. Me being a spark, I jumped straight on that, upgraded the lighting, put some black track spotlights in, threw in a new ring main, sockets everywhere, and yeah, still got a few bits and bobs to tidy up, but by the 8th, we're ready to go. As you walk through the door, the first thing you're going to be greeted with is, on the right hand side, got the coffee area. So I'm going to put a screen where that socket is on the wall there. Big screen, going to show all the racing, going to show all the cycling podcasts. So if you want to come here, mid-ride, post-ride, look at some bike exotica, grab a coffee, watch your podcast, watch your race, this is going to be the spot. We're going to have 3 or 4 tables in there, and yeah, hopefully make it a nice hub for for riders to congregate. I've invested in a rocket coffee machine that is going to be going right at the end of the counter. We're going to be serving coffee from the local Durham-based roasters, Ficker. Those guys are coming along to help me with the opening day and supply me with some grade A beans. And yeah, this is I don't want to call it the sales counter, this is the bar area. Big hyped logo on the wall. Again, when I set away with this project, I had a few ideas in my mind of how I want the place to look, and this hyped logo was always part of that. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. So opposite the sales counter, we've got this big long stretch of wall, and this is where we're going to put the bike display. Quite a bit has happened in terms of bike brands since my last video, and I will fill you in on everything before I sign out on this one. We're going to have 20 to 30 of the best, most hyped bikes in the sport on display right here. That wall there is going to be where we have our clothing display. Just had our clothing drop. Going to let you know the brand of clothing we're going to be stocking. Something that isn't readily available in the UK at the minute. The brand that you might have seen if you've been out riding in Spain or Mallorca. Make some lovely kit, sensibly priced, great designs. I've got some boxes of it out the back there, and I'll show you in a bit. So this space behind me is what's going to become our bike fit studio. I've got a glass frontage still to go on there. Hopefully that's going to be getting fitted on Tuesday next week. And yeah, the bike fitting system that we're going to be using is Italia ID Match. It's a fantastic bit of kit. Going to help us with bike fitting, bike sizing. There's only 4 currently available on use in the UK. We're going to be the only retailer in the north of England offering this service. That hopefully is going to be with us this week. And if you're coming to see us on opening day, it'll be on display and available for you to take a look at. Next to the bike fit room, we've got our workshop. We've had our first delivery of Park Tool, that came last week. A few bits and bobs missing. Should get it in the next few days, but yeah, got out on the wall today. I must admit, that was probably the most pleasurable job that I've done over the last 3 weeks. Yeah, the place is finally starting to look like a bike shop. So we're filming this on the 27th of October, just less than 2 weeks until we open, and as you can see, bang on schedule. The product has started to arrive. I thought this would be a good time to chat you through the brands that we're going to be stocking and let you know why I chose those brands. So when I started sort of mapping all this out, drawing up my business model, thinking of brands that I'd like to do, there was a few certain bits of criteria I was looking for. First up, I didn't want the brand in every bike shop in the area. I was looking for brands that didn't have many dealers, ideally brands that had no dealers. In my opinion, for what it's worth, there's too many bike shops stocking the same brands. They all look kind of similar and they're all chasing the same customers. I wanted Hyped to stand out from the crowd and be a bit different. In terms of the bike brands, the second thing I was looking for was the ability to offer customization. The ethos at Hyped is we don't want to be selling bikes out of the box, one size fits all to riders. We're going to be using our ID Match service to ensure riders get the bike is perfectly fitted for them. And the first brand I'm going to talk about absolutely hits both of those points on the head, and that's Factor. Up until now, Factor has only been available through the UK distributor Veres Velo, based down in Norfolk, meaning riders in the northeast had absolutely no access to Factor unless you fancy getting on a train, getting in the car, heading down to Norfolk. Now that is absolutely mad when you consider that Factor is one of the youngest and possibly most exciting and innovative brands out there at the moment. We can offer full customization on the majority of Factor models, and I'm absolutely buzzing to be bringing Factor to the northeast. Next up, Colnago. Now Colnago entered the chat quite late on. I didn't bother approaching Colnago because they had plenty of dealers in the northeast already. I couldn't see the potential, but the landscape has changed a little over recent weeks, and when they got in touch, they were really interested. And yeah, this is hyped bike performance, and regardless of what you're thinking about it, the Colnago Y1 RS is probably one of the most talked about and hyped bikes of 2025. Not to mention the fact that it's ridden by the greatest cyclist who's ever lived, Tadej Pogačar. So yeah, when they got in touch, to be honest with you, it was a bit of a no-brainer. I said yes, and we will have a Y1 RS, V5 RS, G4X and V4 on display when we open on the 8th. Next up, Spanish brand Orbea. Now again, going back to the fact that we want to offer riders full customization on their bikes, Orbea have their Mayo service, which allows riders to customize paint, customize spec. Next up, I want to talk about look. Now when you're talking about bike brands with history and heritage in cycle racing, look is definitely up there with the big boys. They produced the first carbon fibre road bike to win the Tour de France. They produce some absolutely beautiful quality premium road and gravel product. We can do custom builds in whatever spec you want, from frame only all the way up to super top end premium, mega pimped out, compact super record, which comes in at an eye-watering 13 grand. And by the way, we will have that exact model on display in the showroom on opening. And last but by no means least, we're going to be stocking Argon 18. Now, out of all the brands I've just mentioned, Argon are the one that offer the least amount of customization, but it's a cool, exciting brand. They have some great gravel product. I love the look of the new Nitrogen Pro road bike. And although Argon themselves don't offer custom fit, utilizing our ID Match bike fitting system, we will definitely work with riders to find the bike fit for them. So that's the bike brands covered off. I'm not going to talk through every accessory brand that we're going to stock, but there's definitely a few that are worth mentioning. Starting off with Gobic clothing. Gobic is a brand that's mega in Spain. If you've been to Mallorca riding, no doubt you'll have seen riders flying around in Gobic clothing. They make kit for movie star, made it for Ineos. Great designs, lovely quality, sensibly priced, and up until now, never been available before in the north of England. Other bits and bobs, we're doing Lake and Quack shoes. Two nice brands, both have a slightly different USP. Lake are loved by bike fitters. Some of the models for sure are a little bit quirky looking, but they are renowned for making cycling footwear that feels great. Quack is possibly a more trendy brand. It's a younger, fresher, more fashionable brand. And I think the two complement each other really well. Helmets we're going to be stocking, so we're going to be doing sweet protection, we're doing casque and met, we're going to be stocking scope wheels, and yeah, the list goes on and on and on. All this stuff is going to be out on display if you're in the northeast, if you're kicking about Durham on the 8th of November. Pop down, check it out. Coffees are on me. I'm going to sign out on this one now. I came in this morning at 8 o'clock, told the missus I was only coming in for a couple of hours, and then I started with that tool wall, and yeah, the rest is history. I'm sat here now, it's 6:30 and pitch black outside. I'm gonna try and get another video out before we open, depending on how things go. I cannot promise it. Hopefully, if you can pop down the opening day. Your support would absolutely mean the world. If you haven't been able to yet, if you could check out and support and follow the Instagram page, that's hyped_bike_performance. Give us a follow, spread the word, be much appreciated. This last month has been a journey. Highs, lows, nerves, excitement, everything you could possibly imagine. I sat here 12 days from opening. It's all very, very real. As always, guys, thanks for your support. I'll catch you on the next one.